Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts commentary, and now, well, we have something of a mysterious oddity in this game. It's pretty much an optional world, which is also something I should get into. It's basically a book that Sid wanted as well. But yeah, missing pages. We gotta go find the missing pages, bring them back, and restore parts of the book that Merlin now has in his possession. And again, that does bring me to the point about optional worlds. There are some worlds you can actually miss and not complete the game with. I believe it does lead to a few alternate outcomes. One such case would be like with, again, you saw the cutscene with Alice in Wonderland, with Alice showing up in the villain's hideout. I believe if you don't do Wonderland, then, I'm pretty sure Snow White shows up instead of her, and that does play into a few facets at the end of the game, but in the meantime, I've got to talk about something else, namely the Summon Gems. What we now have is Simba! And, basically, creatures who are from other worlds that have now been destroyed by the Heartless, well, now kind of manifest through Summon Gems, which is basically a way of interacting with our Disney friends, and, this is legit canon. You will be seeing why I overused a certain Summon Gem right at the end of the game, even though it's not quite as useful as I thought it was. But yeah, set up for Kingdom Hearts 2, where they'd say that, yeah, the Summon Gems do remember what was going on, and they do remember Sora, Donald, and Goofy and the adventures they had together traversing across the stars. But in the meantime, we've got some cutscenes coming up, and some important revelations, so let's get to that.
There you are. What's going on?
It's Sora's boyfriend, Riku.
Riku!
Oh, you horny boy.
Hey, cut it out.
I'm not dreaming this time. Right?
I hope not. Took forever to find you.
Riku! Wait a second, where's Kairi?
Isn't she with you? Well, don't worry. I'm sure she made it off the island too. We're finally free. Hey, she might even be looking for us now. We'll all be together again soon. Don't worry. Just leave everything to me. I know this.
Leave it to who?
Sora, what did you...
I've been looking for you, and Kairi too, with their help.
Who are they?
We've visited so many places and worlds, looking for you.
Really? Well, what do you know? I never would have guessed.
Oh, and guess what? Sora's the Keyblade Master.
Who was it?
What's that mean?
So, this is called a Keyblade?
Huh? Hey, give it back!
Catch.
Whoa. Okay, so you're coming with us, right? We've got this awesome rocket. Wait till you see it.
No, he can't come.
What?
Forget it.
Oh, come on. He's my friend.
I don't care.
Oh, he's gone.
Riku? Nice going. Oh well. At least he's okay. And who knows? Maybe we'll run into Kairi soon too.
Oh, you optimistic, sweet summer child. And would you believe that this is Riku's reason for turning to evil? Although you probably could have figured that out for yourself if you knew basic anime tropes. But even in that case, Riku's fall to the dark side is a little bit, well, I think this following cutscene will dictate what's going on a lot better than anything else. But again, I do have a lot to say about it. In the meantime, show us how it's done, Keyblade Master. I'm Yuffie, excitable, little, spunky little kid. And of course, there's everyone else. This is pretty much filling us in about, a little bit of Squall, Sid, the Final Fantasy cast's own world, really. Basically also showing Maleficent having the ability to traverse through worlds and being a Disney character who's cognizant of other realms, really. Again, she's pretty much set up as like the main antagonist of this game, kind of becomes a bit of like a recurring, jokey Team Rocket-esque kind of villain in later games, you know, when they start introducing the organization. I mean, she's pretty much the main villain up to a certain point, but in the meantime, yeah, she's pretty much the reason why the homeworld fell to darkness and why all this stuff has happened. And again, or at least Maleficent is believed to be the instigator of everything. But of course, we also come to meet Ansem the Wise, a king, a scientist, and pretty much a wise ruler of the land who governed his people with love and compassion and was off studying the Heartless but has disappeared with only his Ansem reports left to document him, so we gotta find him.
You see, it's just as I told you. While you toiled away trying to find your dear friend, he quite simply replaced you with some new companions. Evidently, now he values them far more than he does you. You're better off without that wretched boy. Now think no more of him and come with me. I'll help you find what you're searching for.
One thing I am going to say right off the bat is that, again, like, it's a lot easier for me to believe Riku would fall prey to darkness, and again, even though there's very paltry attempts to go, oh, your friends have abandoned you for new friends. Again, like, I mean, all this probably wouldn't have happened if Donald hadn't been such a dick, but again, as I kind of alluded to back in the Destiny Island segment where Riku willingly jumped into the dark portal, again, it's a lot of implied reasoning that, again, he saw Sora and Kairi planning to take off without him, and again, he was worried about being abandoned, that he wasn't good enough for them, and again, as is typical with 14-year-old boys with raging hormones and a struggle to accept the love that Riku has for Sora in all his gay child fashion. Yeah, again, pretty much emotions are running wild, and again, like, it's very petty, but at the same time, Riku is young enough to the point where I think he can at least be slightly excused, or at least understood for why he behaved the way that he did. And again, as evident with Chain of Memories, it's something that he's long since grown past, and again, as I mentioned in part 1, it's pretty much, again, like a nice mixture between the anime-esque Final Fantasy rival battles, intertwined with a bit of the whole Disney, oh good, I'm gonna turn to evil because I've been swayed, but oh no, I will turn to the good side now that I realize the power of friendship. And again, we've got more cutscenes on the way, so watch this.
Well, as I live and breathe, if it isn't Pinocchio!
Oh, hi, Jiminy.
What in the world are you doing down here?
Playing hide and seek.
I just don't believe it. And here I was, up all night just worried sick about you. Why, of all the... Pinocchio!
Oh, my nose! It has grown! Because I have told lies. The same thing happens to my penis whenever I lie to it. It's rather sexy. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me? But again, on another note, this leads to a very terrible world, because Geppetto is nowhere in sight. It leads to a world that I hate in Kingdom Hearts 1, it leads to a world I hate even more in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and overall, it's just aggravating. But again, this is also a cutscene you can miss, as you could probably see with the fucky transition that I made there. I initially didn't see this on my first run, so I had to go back to Traverse Town, unlock this cutscene where Pinocchio lies about having been gifted this weird gift thing, and of course we're basically cutting back to the action just as soon as we're all wrapped up here. But again, onto more pressing matters, and at the very least in regards to Ansem and the Ansem reports, again, they are things that you get periodically over the game, and again, at certain junctures during the parts, I probably will be reading off the Ansem reports themselves, not again through the game, but I think I might try and do something of a dramatic reading of them. Again, like, I mean, if I have the time to do so, obviously. Again, I wanna make it as atmospheric as at least how I perceive the Ansem reports when I read them. Like, I mean, a lot of people might just think it's just mythology reading for mythology's sake, but no, the Ansem reports I think are genuinely interesting and give a lot of perspective as to what, well, the exploration of the Heartless and darkness surrounding the worlds and consuming them, well, really is, and what sort of effect it has on somebody who was so revered as a man who's compassionate and wanted to lead his world, you know, for the greater good. But again, that's all to come in future parts. Again, you'll probably just see them pop up sporadically, although I might just publish a separate video you know, detailing them. But now it's time to go to another world we've been to before, and we have a warp gummy. So yeah, and again, you're pretty much told when you have different bouts of the Colosseum to go through. Again, you'll have Chip and Dale show up going, there's a new tournament in the Colosseum, go there, stupid. And it is kind of worth your while to do so, because, I mean, you, again, as I kind of rambling mentioned the first time we were there, you do get abilities at the end of each tournament round. So again, you'll be seeing what we get as the result of our spoils of combat and war. You know, by the time we finish the round this time. But again, there is also alternate modes. Again, you have, you know, Sora together with his friends, you have Sora alone, and of course you have Time Attack. You do get different abilities depending on which one of these you complete, and again, it is worth going out of your way to do this. The only one you really need to complete for 100% world completion, I think, is just the 3 main tournament rounds, and then of course the boss fight with Hades, and, you know, once you've sealed the keyhole, you've technically completed the world and don't have to worry about it anymore. And I only really stress that in the sense that it is something that you need to do if you want to unlock the full-fledged, deep dive secret ending, you know, which is what I'm trying to go out of my way to do. Well, mainly for the sake of completing the playthrough of Kingdom Hearts more than I've ever done before, but yeah. In addition, this is also a really good place to grind, so again, if you want to have a round where you can basically just, you know, enter a competition, restart the match, and, you know, get all the experience for yourself, you can feasibly do that, and again, this is part of the reason where I got the most use out of Blizzard and had a lot more respect for it. Before this playthrough, I didn't really use Blizzard at all, but again, when you're in competition rounds like this, where you can basically, you know, use it to get to the jump on a bunch of enemies that are weak to Blizzard, get some more tech points, and again, your experience can jump pretty early in the game, so... Again, like, I mean, this was pretty much my main grinding method, at least early on in the game. Then, of course, we have... Again, if I didn't mention it before, I'll mention it again for repetitiveness' sake. Again, like, I mean, the characters will pretty much mimic Final Fantasy poses. Mainly Sora. Like, I mean, I believe he emulates Cloud, Squall. I think he also does one of Zel's poses from Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, look at those violet, purple, pink feet in the peat. Yeah, that's pretty much... Again, we're pretty much fighting the individual parts of the guard armor. That is to say, the original guard armor with its old coloration rather than the rainbow spectacle that we saw beforehand. Kind of weird that they did that, but hey, at least you get to see parts of the original guard armor, I suppose. And again, to also further contextualize things, yes, these rounds do get harder and harder, and you do have different bouts to face off against different enemies. Like, I mean, again, you will see examples of this later on, but much in the same vein that we fought Cloud Strife back during the initial... I guess the initiation rounds to kind of get us ready for it. Yeah, you will be fighting characters like Squall, Yuffie, all that kind of stuff, so... Yeah, it's... Again, like these Colosseum rounds, again, they probably might not be very interesting to look at, and probably even more difficult to commentate over, but again, like, it's... Again, it's worth it, man. Well, again, about as worth it as you probably see with grinding. I mean, if you're somebody with a little bit more of a... a less attentive position, for the lack of a better phrase, or at least for the lack of offending people, yeah, you can pretty much just spend your time here and practice, train hard, and become a junior hero! Like the Filwa saying you're being. I literally have no idea what the fuck I was saying there. And also, unless I have anything more relevant to say, I probably won't be expositing on Hercules as I promised before, so I'll save that for a bit later because these rounds do get longer and longer and longer and longer. Like my penis, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck? I don't know why this commentary is as raunchy as it is, like Kingdom Hearts... It all started with the SS Lover, and it's just spiraled downhill from there. Ah, well, it'll probably never happen again, unless I have another couple drinks. And I really could use one right now. I gotta stop rambling. But anyway, they also have unique names for each of these rounds, like the Fat Brigade or something or other. I don't know. I mean, it's just text on the screen, but I mean, hey, I guess the intern was paid at lunch to name these things, so... Whatever, money well spent, I suppose. And again, like, I think I might have, like, briefly mentioned it before, but, like, there was absolutely no crowd here. Like, I mean, most games probably would have went to dividends to cover this up by having, like, 2D placeholder sprites, you know, that you would have seen of, like, crowds cheering. One example that immediately comes to mind was, like, the... like the crowd from Crash Bandicoot 3 when you're watching Tiny in the arena, which is kind of apropos considering where we are. But I think another example would also be the Matrix Path of Neo, which, you know, when you're in that Kung Fu tournament with, you know, the Kung Fu dude with the flaming jacket. Yeah, like, I mean, they had a bunch of sprites, well, not sprites, they had a bunch of character models that were kind of faded out and didn't really cost a lot of processing power, so I don't know what the deal was. Like, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3, and although it went to great lengths to give us some Grecian character models, so I don't know if it was maybe like a budget-saving thing, or just a lack of foresight, but I mean, it's implied that there's meant to be a crowd watching us, but there isn't, and, well, yeah, that's... Again, like, I mean, a lot of people joke about this in regards to Kingdom Hearts, but I mean, it is a bit of a problem when you're trying to sell the idea that we're fighting for a bunch of crowd of people, except there's nobody there, so it feels like all we're really trying to impress here is, like, Phil and Hercules, and that's about it. And I suppose to kind of wrap things up, in regards to anything else, I think I might have mentioned this before, but again, as I mentioned previously, you do get to fight a couple of Final Fantasy characters here, and I kind of wish I did a little bit more of that. Like, I mean, I suppose this does also tie in with Tetsuya Nomura wanting to be respectful towards Amano's artwork and not use characters that he himself didn't initially design, but I don't know, it would have been cool to have representation from characters like, you know, Terra, Zidane, if I think that's what his name is. I don't know. I think it would have been cool.
We're the champs!
Yeah, yeehaw, woohoo, and we attain the power of the stars, which is gravity, which I don't think is the stars, but then again, my science is a little bit out today. And of course, Phil is like, oh, I don't like you very much, except I do because I'm a hard-training, beer-spilling guy that does the drinking and whatever else. Again, you get gravity, and again, you get a couple of other things. I believe the next time we're here, we get Strike Raid, which I kind of miss out on for most of the game, because I don't come back here until the end of the game where we have the other two Colosseum rounds, and, well, again, all part of the cleanup video. But again, I'm pretty much going to be cutting out Sora alone, because it's pretty much the same thing of what you saw before, except Sora on his own, really, as he does a pose or whatever. And again, of course, we get Combo Plus, which basically extends our moveset by an extra hit. And again, I'm also going to be showing off a couple of other goodies that I got in the meantime. Lucky Strike especially. Something that you should definitely use if you want to get those synthesis items, because, oh boy, drop rates are a bitch, and it makes me very, very antsy in the pantsy. And, yeah, that's all just a matter of if you have the AP to equip everything. But again, you won't be getting that until later. But again, with nothing left to do here, it's time to go off to a whole new world, by which I mean exploring a wormhole. But again, you'll be seeing that all next time. Let's get some encouraging words from Hercules, and he hopes to face us in the tournament, and he will see us tonight at WrestleMania with the... fuck it, I don't know, wrestling promo shit. Anyway, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on the Kingdom Hearts commentary, we're gonna go to a warm place. Catch you next time.